episode 129, nearly to 130. Guys, we're nearly to the end.
So many episodes.
We're nearly done.
We're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost finished. This week we're reviewing Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, the follow-up from Ryan Coogler and company to one of the biggest superhero films literally of all time, one of the biggest films of all time, the original Black Panther.
The original was the 9th highest grossing movie of all time.
Right?
Insane.
That's unbelievable. There is a this is obviously the number one movie in the universe. I'm not sure if they have movies on other planets yet, but on this one, Black Panther, like we all thought it was going to do, there was no question in anyone's mind that this was going to come out and not. Can you imagine if this came out and
came out and flopped?
Yeah,
this came out and did like still ahead of
numbers. Yeah,
Black Adam was like, number one at the box office this week. Black Adam for the 4th week.
This came out and did like Banshees of Inisherin numbers or something. Like,
what? God, dude! Like the world would have ended. The discourse would have just fucking. Oh my God!
This was never going to flop, and this was in fact going to always do better than the previous 2 movies that had been put out before this. This wasn't. I don't know where this stands in relation to Spider-Man, which came out in December.
Oh, it's behind.
But it has to be behind because Spider-Man is like the 5th highest grossing movie of all time at this point.
Yeah,
it's something crazy like numbers. That. Yeah.
Not to compare and contrast these movies, but it is always interesting to see what happens when these mega properties come out, and this is no different. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Let's get right into it because I feel like we're going to have a long discussion on this. Plus, a little later on in the episode, we will be re-ranking our top 10 movies of the year. Dex has something to say about Ambulance, which we will not allow.
No,
oh my God, dude! I can't
that's
fucking.
Real
no way. We're not doing this. I am so out on this bit. No way.
It's not a bit, brother. This is real cinema. It's not a bit.
Absolutely the best. One of the top 10 films of 2022 is Ambulance, a movie that 10 people saw, but Tej and I were front row.
Incredible.
I just love drone shots. It's your favorite thing.
It's my favorite thing.
Good enough.
Subscribe to so many YouTube channels. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, 7.4 on IMDb. Actually ranked 7th overall popularity trending right now, which is funny. PG-13, 2 hours and 41 minutes long. This one kept going. 67 Metascore. The people of Wakanda fight to protect their home from the intervening world powers as they mourn the death of King T'Challa. Written and directed by Ryan Coogler. Also, screenplay credit to Joe Robert Cole. Stars Letitia Wright. Lupita Nyong'o makes another appearance. Winston Duke. Angela Bassett, a queen. Danae Guerra. Tinoch Huerta appears as Namor, and Martin Freeman back as that guy from the first one.
Yeah, the dude from The Thing.
Everett Ross. Yeah, that guy. Okay. Let's see. As far as this goes at the box office, what did it make? 330 million? I can't find it on IMDb.
Yeah, what did you?
I saw 330 somewhere.
So yeah, we're recording this on Sunday. So just in one weekend, it's made $330 million worldwide. Big budget. And there's a lot to do with this. I think it was 180. Oh no, that says US and Canada opening 180 million. You'd have to believe that this movie was $100 million budget. So of course.
Yeah, no way it wasn't. Half of it is underwater.
Yeah, absolutely. So it $100 million budget. They had to do a lot of reworks on this. There's a lot to do with the main woman who played the main character in this movie and shutdowns on set and so on and so forth.
You've already injured at one point. You've
all read the news.
Bad takes about science.
Right. It's been interesting. And also, and also not for nothing, they've had to rework this script a couple of times, I believe, within the process of making this movie. Like, I think they had probably a sequel to this already written years ago before they even got the news of the untimely passing of. Sorry, why am I blanking
Chadwick
on it?
Boseman.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman. Who that? I apologize. I should have. I'm just blanking. It's been a long day, but Chadwick Boseman on the untimely passing of him. But so far, all's going well in box office land, which is what you love to see. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever has an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, 95% audience score, a poignant tribute that satisfyingly moves the franchise forward. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever makes an ambitious and emotionally rewarding triumph for the MCU. So pretty good reviews so far. Ryan Coogler seems to know what he's doing with this franchise, seems to know what he's doing as a filmmaker.
Ryan Coogler, good director. Who knew?
Right? Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? Right? So it's going well. All things are back for the MCU. Is basically what everyone's saying. Right? Right? Tej, you disagree?
No, I think all is well. Phase 4 is over.
Which is weird. What a weird sort of. I think people knew that it was in the end Phase 4, but I kind of had to be reminded of that.
Me too.
Like it just kind of ended.
Phase 4 felt never ending. It felt like it was never going to end. But I am a
It's been
Phase
like
4
3
truther.
years at this point of Phase 4.
I'm a Phase 4 truther. So RIP to Phase 4, but I'm a Phase 4 truther. No, things are well in the MCU. This movie's really good.
You felt like you got to get something off your chest, though.
It's hard for me to discuss the film because I do have some issues with it. However, they had so much to do. This is easily the most difficult Marvel movie that they've ever had to make, just because we've never had to mourn, not just like we've had to mourn the death of Tony Stark in the movie, for example, but we have to mourn the death of Robert Downey Jr. in the movie at the same time. Like, we've got to mourn the death of Chadwick and T'Challa. We have to do everything we need to do to service our upcoming Disney Plus TV shows. We've got to introduce Namor and give Talu Khan the amount of space to thrive, because he is a fucking awesome character, and that whole part of the story is amazing. And most importantly, and maybe the hardest job, is we've got to find a way to make another Black Panther movie without Chadwick Boseman, and for the most part, without a Black Panther, which is not and I'm not going to do spoilers yet until we lift the curtain, but basically that's what they were tasked with. And so they had a lot to do. And that is prevalent throughout the film. And overall, I think that Coogler did as good a job as anybody could have done. I thought he was phenomenal. He's always phenomenal. I thought some of the stuff Angela Bassett is doing is completely mind-blowing. It's clear that Letitia Wright, for all her gifts, is not the most skilled dramatic actor yet. And she's got a lot of dramatic work to do because her character is in mourning about the passing of her brother. So she's got a lot of dramatic work to do. And it clearly, in the beginning of the film, that dramatic work is really offloaded to Angela Bassett, who could do drama in her sleep. Angela Bassett has been doing peak drama, real drama for
this shit's
decades
easy
in Hollywood. It's easy. And she's crushing it. And she's bodying it. Right? And so I just feel like I rewatched Black Panther 1 the other day, right before I went to go see this movie. And what makes Chadwick, a lot of people said like Chadwick's role was like his role in the movie is understated. It's really an ensemble cast. What Chadwick does well in the movie is he could sit in all the versions of the movie. He could sit and do quippy banter with Letitia Wright's character and make jokes. He could also have a very, very deep and harrowing conversation with his father in the ancestral plane. He could also be in a very dope fight scene with Michael B. Jordan. He could also sit with Michael B. Jordan as Michael B. Jordan is dying and talk to him about jumping off of slave ships. Chadwick could do all those things. And so they really had a star at the center of the movie, but not just any star. You can't just dump like anybody into the movie where you've got to be in 3 or 4 different movies, right? Not everybody can do that. Letitia Wright in this film is supposed to be in 3 or 4 different movies, but she can't for 2 reasons. One, because her character is mourning, the scenes where she's supposed to be quippy with Riri Williams feel weird because her
Mhm.
character is consumed by grief and anger at this time in her life.
I also forget to mention Riri Williams as spoiler, like it's in the trailer, Ironheart. I forgot to
It's in the trailer.
it's literally in the trailers, just as the other spoiler is in the trailers, but Riri Williams also in here as well.
You're asking Letitia to be in the Riri Williams movie and to be in the Angela Bassett drama and to assume so much more weight that she was, and it's nobody's fault. It's because of the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman. There's a Chadwick Boseman sized hole in the middle of this movie, and you can see them moving around the parts to try to fill the hole. And they did an amicable job of that. However, at times it felt like that hole was too big to be filled. I don't think that Letitia, for all her gifts, and I think that she does as good of a job as we could have expected her to do, can be in the Namor movie and in the Riri movie and in the Angela Bassett movie. That's why in the beginning of this movie, the scenes with Huerta, who plays Namor, phenomenal job, by the way. That guy is just crushing it.
Thanos Huerta, he hadn't been in a lot of noticeable things except
He was
for
in
maybe
Narcos.
Mexico, and he is asked to do a lot.
Oh my God. And he has so much of a burden, but he is just hitting it out of the park. And the scenes with Angela Bassett and Huerta are some of the best MCU scenes that you are going to see, with them going bar for bar and having the emotional weight to deal with each other. However, at a certain point in the movie, Letitia takes that role on, and I don't think Letitia is very good, or at least very well suited to be in the Namor movie. And so there are parts of this movie that feels disjointed. And on top of that, we're also setting up our Ironheart show. And Riri Williams is fine, but it feels like it's like, why are we doing this here?
Mhm.
We've also got a whole funeral sequence, which is very, very well done. But we've got to make time for that.
Was dope.
We've got to make time for all this stuff. And we also have to make time for our Thunderbolts extended trailer, which is just like, okay, like this is, you just feel like you're in a different movie every time that Elaine's on. I shouldn't call her Elaine. Every time that Julia Louis-Dreyfus is on the screen, it's like, okay, we're in a different movie, and it's fine. And it's not that the Riri Williams movie is bad, and it's not like the Julia Louis-Dreyfus movie is bad, but it's different.
It is.
I wouldn't call it bad. It's just different, and it takes you out of these moments that are really important.
It in so bad.
It's so shoehorned in there, and so I just felt like the movie had a lot to do. I have my quips about how they chose to do it at times, but the Namor stuff, phenomenal. Angela Bassett, phenomenal. M'Baku stole the show in this movie. Yep. Absolutely phenomenal performance. The action scenes, they're just okay. I really like the scene on the bridge with the Dora Milaje, with what's her face, the head of the Dora Milaje is there with that fight scene. I really like that fight scene when the Telekanians invade Wakanda. Incredible content. I couldn't stop looking at the movie screen. But other than that, I feel like the fight scenes are just okay. I think the cast is doing an amazing job, and Letitia Wright's doing the best that she can, and she's shining in certain moments. And overall, I after having further conversations about the movie, I just think that because of the degree of difficulty of the movie, I wasn't going to shit on it by any means. I had a good time in the movie theater, but I was thinking it was in the B plus range. However, after thinking about how difficult of a task they had, which was largely impossible at certain times, I'm gonna give this movie an A-. Really enjoyable, and it's time that we put some respect on Phase 4, because Phase 4 gave us some fucking bangers, and I like Phase 4. And some of the shows were, diminishing returns on some of the shows, but we got some good shows.
Moon Knight was a stinker, but
Moon Knight was an absolute dud, and we all wish that we hadn't watched that. The Chloe Zhao movie was an absolute mid-fest, and I wish that we didn't have to be subjected to that. But other than that, I don't like the dialogue about Phase 4.
I think folks are tripping about Phase 4. I'm with you on that one. People are like, "Oh, I don't know what's happening. This doesn't make any sense." I'm like, bro, watch the superhero movies. We're having a good time.
Bro, they gave us Green Goblin in Phase 4, Gore the God Butcher in Phase 4, and Namor, and all three of those dudes dropped 97 points a game. Like, what do y'all want from these people?
That's three, top 5 or 6 MCU villains.
What more do y'all want?
There. Fucking
anyway,
they didn't give me Horse Thor.
Where is Deadpool? Why isn't he here yet? Where are the X-Men?
Fantastic Four are supposed to be here by now.
I went A-, and if I could suggest something, I think that Royden should go next, and then Dex should go last.
All right, bet.
Yeah. So I said that it was the best Marvel project in a long time, meaning also including the TV shows, and I would go, and that was right in the glow of having cried in the theater. So, Chadwick Boseman meant a lot to a lot of people, but I think just as a just singular talent, he was older than you thought he was, but he still had a lot of life left to live that seemingly was just taken from us. And when anytime a singular talent dies, it is strange. It does leave a void, not only in these movies, which we've become so connected to, but in the artistic space. And it just is like, I'm not saying he is this guy, but it was like watching our generation's Denzel pass all of a sudden, I guess, to me. And there's a lot of parallels there between Denzel helping pay for his college and in those stories of which he told several times over. But he played so many important characters. And so watching them memorialize him in real time in the movie was a surreal experience. It was really
crushing.
it was really something that I don't know that I've seen in modern cinema.
Facts. You either memorialize a character or you memorialize a person, but you don't do both. And I don't think I've ever seen that before, ever. It was mind blowing.
And so watching that in real time, I got choked up, man. The first 5 minutes of the film, I was like, it feels like these people are working out their trauma in real time.
Facts.
And it is hard to kind of watch at times. But then, Siege, like you said, and so I came out of it, especially the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes when they have basically a memorial to him in the movie, that I came out, I was like, "Whoo, brother, that weighed heavy." And I think that's like one of the best. And I kind of think that it is one of the better projects since people have come down on Spider-Man No Way Home for a litany of reasons, but I think it is one of it.
Mostly because they hate fun. People hate fun.
Yeah,
that's why they
hate fun and having a good time.
They hate that.
So people watch the Super Bowl every year. So like whatever. but I rank it up there with Spider-Man No Way Home, which I called one of the best movies of the last year. But it's different. It is different. But since then, I've come down on it a little bit. Now, I still think it's the second best or tied for the first best movie of Phase 4, probably. But, and it's far ahead of any TV show that they probably put out. But I came away in the glow of it thinking, oh, that was great. And now I've kind of come down on it a little bit for most of the reasons that you have said. And it is basically like, there's 18 movies in this movie, guys.
There's a lot going on.
There's so many movies going on, and it's not like I hated a singular one of them. I don't know. Maybe the Thunderbolt storyline is like let's shoehorn these people in here a little bit. And I didn't really actively like the Ironheart storyline that much because it felt like old school Marvel, where it was like, let's go on an adventure. And you're just like, and I was kind of like, okay, let's bring in this new character, yip-de-dip-de-doo, and you're just kind of like, all right. But around that is some of the best acting that I've seen in Marvel movies, specifically from Angela Bassett.
Oh my God.
Angela Bassett, it feels like she lost a son. It feels like she lost. She's like she's been doing this for 40 years in Hollywood. She's been nominated for an Oscar. And man, this feels like a moment for her on top of everything else. If you go into this with nothing else, I hope that you come out of it realizing how much of a talent that Angela Bassett is and has been for a long time.
It felt like it felt like I agree with you. I felt like the cast was working through the shit in real time, and it felt like the person who they nominated as a cast to perfectly encapsulate and express how they felt about the passing of this man on screen was Angela Bassett, and she fucking knocks it out of the park. It is mind blowing the work that she's doing. It's mind blowing.
Yeah. There are some times where it's like, okay, we're really going for it here, and if you're uncomfortable with that, like, sorry, but and they do that a couple of times. Like, it basically, this movie is like, how do we deal with our trauma? How do we deal with loss? That's the entire theme of the movie, and it has kind of been the theme of Phase 4, to be completely honest, which is interesting.
Very interesting.
But
I mean, kind of as it should be after
after
the passing
Infinity War and
Endgame.
True.
Really came through and put the whole fucking MCU in trauma bonding mode. Dog.
Yeah, exactly.
The fucking greatest.
This dude snapped half the universe out of existence for 5 years. Like, yeah, let's all stop and think about that for a little bit. Let's unpack our feelings a little bit here.
What does that mean to you? Let's unpack that. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to you that you got turned into dust? Can we unpack that a little bit? Let's go a little bit deeper there.
He packed up half
everyone
the
you
universe,
ever loved has
bro.
died in front of your face. How do you feel right now? We're gonna do it again real quick, but before we do that, I just want to know how you feel right now.
Your wife is remarried and has 5 new kids. How do you feel about that? Anyway, yeah, so I've come down on it a little bit. I even came down on it. I was at an A- when I came out of the theater. I'm sitting at a B+ right now, I think. Because as a superhero movie, it does feel a little strange at points. It really tries to shoehorn that these two nations should be fighting against each other, and that these two superpowers should be fighting against each other, when in reality it's like, let me just talk about this a little bit, maybe we'll figure this out.
Literally, maybe like like one more 10-minute conversation, and we're probably good. We're probably fine.
Yeah, and I love the interactions between Thanos Huerta and Letitia Wright. They, of course, I felt like you said, I felt like Huerta like carries a lot of that, because I've heard on a separate podcast they needed a Chadwick size presence to fill a little bit of the gap.
Absolutely.
And they kind of also chose him to be that avatar a little bit. But
he barely speaks English, by the way. The guy who they put in the middle of this movie to be that amazing was insecure about how he spoke English the whole time, and he was phenomenal. Don't be insecure about yourself, people. That man had a genius performance, and every day he probably woke up stressed as hell about doing the performance, and he fucking crushed it.
Yeah. And he's fantastic looking. He's a really awesome looking. Mm-hmm. He's really hot guy, and everyone in this movie, A+ for how everyone looked in this movie, by the way. Just gonna throw that one out there.
There's a third section of the podcast, so I'm not gonna put it here, but it's coming. It's coming. There's
run back another Oscar for the costume designer. Like run that back.
Did she get nominated the first time?
She won.
She won.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, just as a superhero movie, like the fight scenes.
Yeah, like, I agree.
I hate to be that guy, but I was just kind of sitting there going like, I'm not super wowed by these like I was by a lot of Spider-Man, or even to the extent of some of the scenes in I was going to say Black Widow, but Doctor Strange. But yeah, so really, I'm talking in circles, but I think it was a mega balancing act by anyone else would have failed, and Ryan Coogler somehow made not only a serviceable movie, but at times a brilliant movie, and it's gonna make $1 billion and possibly be nominated for Oscars. So that guy is a genius, and I hope. I would like for him to stay in the MCU, but he needs to go do other projects that I would love to see. outside of these blockbusters.
The dialogue that he's writing, that him and his partner, I think his last name is Cole. The dialogue and the way that they're writing, I'm going to steal this point from Mo. The stuff that Angela Bassett is doing at the UN, she gets that across in maybe 4 sentences. But it doesn't feel like it's 4 sentences because it's so weighty, and she obviously delivers it perfectly because she's a fucking genius. But like, it's so weighty and the words are so weighty, but like to be able to get that across in just a couple bars, that's just succinct writing in the writer's room, and it's beautiful. It's amazing.
Also, I will add, it feels like at points that they had and I said this earlier, they had a script, and then they, like, the Shuri goes and finds Ironheart stuff was already in the script.
Yep.
And now we had to reposition, which,
and you can feel where those are in the movie. You can feel, oh shit, this is something we had to rewrite because the transition is weird. You can feel it.
Yeah. So good for them for like being able to repurpose this and make it not only fit into all these hoops that I'm sure Kevin Feige was like, look, I'm sorry, but we got to like make this fit in here somehow. But it worked, and it does feel clunky at points, but I still think it works mainly. So I give it a B+. I will only go up on this movie. I can't go down any further than that. Also, I want Lupita Nyong'o to step on my throat. Thank you very much.
Oh my Lord. Thank you for saying that. Lupita, I love you. That is the most beautiful woman in the, oh my God, man.
When she appears on screen, I had to like stop myself. I was sitting next to my wife. I think my mouth dropped open. I was like I might as well have like wolf whistled. And, ooga. And
like, holy shit.
I was just like, Jesus, man. Anyway.
That is an extremely beautiful woman.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I wrote a review this morning on apolloissue.com. Go check that out. But yeah, I kind of basically said a lot of what Tej said earlier. I started out by talking about like the insane degree of difficulty for this movie. We have never seen a solo Marvel movie at least have like this much shit that they had to do. Like, you're following up a Best Picture nominated, like top 10 all time highest grossing movie of all time.
I forget it was nominated for Best Picture.
Yep.
Yeah.
The original was nominated for Best Picture. Like, you're coming off of that, but you know, you lost the star of the movie tragically to cancer. That, you know, maybe some of them knew that he had cancer, maybe some of them didn't. I don't remember what the situation was.
Martin Freeman said no one had any idea.
Coogler didn't know.
Shit.
Coogler said he would notice that he would struggle during some of the fight scenes, or it would take him a long time in the heating tent to like get back. But it was little stuff that he was noting, and he was like, you know, you realize like, okay, the guy's dealing with some stuff, but obviously he had no idea he was dealing with cancer. And looking back, he's like, this man was while we're making this movie, he was literally dying. Like, he was in the process of dying, and he still gave us that performance. It is insane, bro. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there's an interview Martin Freeman had where he basically said, like, he basically was astounded by his work ethic, but he said no one had any idea.
That's insane, man.
So they're dealing with that, and they have to try and make this movie kind of make sense with the rest of the MCU to an extent. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of crossover like with a bunch of the other MCU projects that exist. Like, you know, fucking Falcon's not showing up in this shit like out of nowhere.
Thank God.
Can you imagine? Oh, Jesus.
I would have walked out of the movie theater if that swaggerless hero walked into the movie. I'd have been mad as hell, bro.
On your left. This pulls up in fucking the funeral for T'Challa.
Anybody got a job in Wakanda?
That broke ass superhero don't belong in Wakanda, bro.
But yeah, so they had a lot to do, like Tej mentioned, and I was really impressed by just how well they did it all. Because, like we've been saying, and like it's obvious, Chadwick Boseman like was instantly iconic in that role, and have like that's a huge hole to have to fill. And honestly, I thought Letitia Wright did a great job. I felt like they did a really good job of kind of putting her in spots and giving her a character journey that makes it feel like earned. You know, like what ends up happening in the movie and stuff like that. It feels legit. You know, every character feels like it makes sense for them to end up where they did. by the end of
She's
this
like a
movie.
rookie quarterback with a really seasoned head coach. She's like Mac Jones to Bill Belichick at points.
I like
to
that
me.
a lot. I like that a lot.
Yeah, she.
I'm not saying she's a system player, but I'm saying they put her in places to succeed.
I think that's a perfect way of describing it, because it's not like she went out there and was like a rookie sensation, but she went out there and she had to quarterback the team to victory, and the team didn't score 50 points, but they scored 28 points and played good defense.
Yeah. Went out there and got it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, run the ball, play good defense, and make the throws when you need to make them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to the playoff game. This isn't the Super Bowl, but they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And she made the big throws when they needed them. You know what I'm saying? It was 3rd and 7. She had to throw an 8-yard out. She hit it. Like I felt like she did a really, really good job, like given the circumstances. And I think it's like we talked about. I've never seen a movie where the grief of the characters on screen and the grief of like the real life actors feels so connected, like step for step. Like every single conversation that they have about T'Challa being gone, you're like, this feels like just a conversation between like Lupita Nyong'o and Letitia Wright and Angela Bassett about Chadwick Boseman being gone. At parts it doesn't feel like you're watching a movie. It feels like you're literally just like sitting in on a conversation of these people grieving, which I thought was like just really affecting and really, really dope to see. I ended up giving it an A- for some of the reasons that y'all mentioned. My biggest reason for taking points off was that I felt like it didn't really build properly. Like there were parts of it like that were exposition dumps at the beginning, and then you would think we're doing just rising action now, but they'd like force in another exposition dump right there. So it's like, oh, okay, I guess we're not done setting the story up. And then by the time you hit the climax, it doesn't feel like the movie is about to end, or at least it didn't to me. Like we got to the final battle, and I was like, oh, it's gonna end there. Like we're done now. Like, that's how that's gonna wrap up. Okay, cool. It just didn't have that proper like. It's supposed to be kind of like a mountain type thing. Like you go up slowly and like hit the climax and then like fall down a little bit, whatever. It felt kind of stilted. So that's where I knock off points for it. But in that, I really enjoyed it. I thought the Riri Williams character, I liked her. I felt like it was a good change of pace to have in there, because you can't have an MCU movie where it's literally just like we're all sad the whole time.
Sure you can. Fuck it, do it. Like just once.
I want to see that movie. I literally want that movie.
I don't.
Give us Batman for the MCU. We want to see Robert Pattinson Batman.
I want only the Bale version of the Gore the God Butcher film where everything bad happens to him in his entire life and he just ruined everybody else's life. End of this movie. I'm into it.
Yeah, I enjoy like being able to sit with grief for a little bit, and I thought they did a good job of letting it breathe longer than they normally do. Like in a lot of MCU movies, it feels like the jokes come just instantly, all the time, constantly. But in this one, it was like, you'd go a good little stretch with no jokes, which made it kind of a weird theater experience, because a lot of like my theater, they didn't realize a joke was being told and they just kind of sit there silently, and I'd be like the only one chuckling like
in the back of the theater. Ha!
So what you're saying is you laughed in the middle of the funeral scene. That's what you're telling us right here on this podcast.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That funeral scene is fucking incredible, by the way. Like at the beginning of the movie, like they show that like slow-mo shot of the dudes like banging the drums and jumping around and stuff like in the trailers. But watching it in the theater, I was like, oh, it's actually in slow motion. That wasn't just for the trailer. Like this is an incredible shot. Holy shit.
We've been interrupting your review, but I do have to
35
say,
minutes into the podcast.
Yeah, I do have to say, I was so worried going in. Like, how are they going to do this?
Yeah,
I was going to have a panic attack because.
Why were you worried?
Look, I know that they probably weren't going. In my heart of hearts, I knew that they weren't going to do this. But in the back of my mind, I thought, is there a universe where they superimpose a Chadwick open casket funeral?
Well, there's no way you thought that was going to happen.
Because they have gone back and made people like CGI young people in Rogue One. They brought back a dead guy that's been dead for like 30 years.
That's true. They did.
Yeah,
They
also
did
like
that.
threw together a bunch of Carrie Fisher scenes.
Yes.
Yeah, look,
Like
nasty shit, bro. Nasty.
After watching these past Star Wars films, I was like, okay,
don't do it, Disney. Don't do
I
it.
hope they have a little
Please don't do
wherewithal
it.
because everybody was like, this is bad and wrong. I know you got like the state's permission to do this, but like, ugh, yuck. And
yeah, they
handled it with care and tact.
There's no way Coogler
really
would have done
appreciate
anything
that.
otherwise.
No, I know.
That would have been Coogler bullying Feige. Like, Feige, you can't do that to a black man. We're not doing that.
Yeah, we're
That's
not going to let
happening.
that shit happen.
We're not doing
I'm going to go leak that shit to the press right now.
Right now.
I'm going to leak it my damn self.
That was why Ryan Coogler got arrested by the cops at that bank.
He was trying to tell them that Kevin Feige's about to fuck this movie up.
I was kind of hoping there would be a joke in maybe it'll happen in a future Coogler movie where he just makes a joke about somebody trying to rob a bank, because that whole thing was so funny online. The whole discourse of that was just hilarious. It was everything.
I had forgotten about it until you brought it up right
now. When those pictures came out,
why are you
really
wearing a hoodie and sunglasses at a Wells Fargo?
Handing people notes and shit.
The whole thing was just so surreal. Like, we know that he meant no ill will, but if you're wearing the costume of a bank robber and handing people notes, they're going to think you're robbing the bank, brother. I'm sorry.
Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, that's director Ryan Coogler." I've seen
normal people don't hand notes at the bank, bro. That's just not a thing that happens. It only happens in movies and bank robberies. That's it. That's literally it. What are you doing, Ryan? I'm sorry.
My favorite thing is that then led to the discourse of I'm a bank teller, and it's like, God.
What a wild fucking time, bro. I had completely forgotten about that until you brought it up right now. Holy shit. But
anyway,
yeah,
they handled the funeral scene with tact and care.
Pretty much everything to do with like Chadwick Boseman / T'Challa's legacy, they handled with care. And you know, I really
Apollo
appreciate
group
that.
chat wherewithal.
They had it. Namor was dope. I really liked him, especially the second time I saw this movie. I saw it twice. The first time I was high off my ass. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I missed some things. I missed some things the first time. I was high.
What did you miss the first time?
Like most of like what he was saying, to be honest. I was like just kind of looking at everything and kind of like taking it all in visually.
Oh, you were really paying attention to you were in hell.
What was being said.
You're remembering to breathe.
Yeah, like I was noticing just like everything about my seat, like because it was one of those seats that like it like rocks a little bit. It doesn't like recline, like you can just set it there. It's like one of those that like rocks constantly. So I was like just noticing everything about my seat. Anyway, watching it the second time, I really noticed that Namor was dope. His motives were like fun and interesting, and like the conflict between Talokan and Wakanda, it makes a lot of sense to me. Like I see what y'all are saying, that it was like y'all could have just talked it out or whatever, but I understood why like shit was happening. I'm like, it's wartime, baby. Like we ain't talking shit out. Like, you ran up in Wakanda, bro. Like we can't have that. We can't. Zero tolerance policy.
He literally just pulled up on Wakanda like it was easy, and they're like, "Wait, we didn't know anybody could get in here," and you just casually strolled up looking good. Like, how you get in here, bro?
And you got vibranium, bro? Like, nah, fam. Like it's beef now. Like we ain't talking shit out. But yeah, I fucked with all of that. The only place that I take points off is like the final fight. I thought all the other fight scenes were dope. The final fight was a little lackluster. Could have been a lot better. And then, like I mentioned, just kind of like the stilted storytelling, like not really rising and falling properly. Those are the only things that I'll take off for. But otherwise, everything was dope. I really thought they did a great job honoring both T'Challa, the character on screen, and Chadwick Boseman, the real man, off screen. Like I thought, like we said, I've never seen that in a movie before where they do both. They'll usually like honor a character or whatever, and then just be like, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman at the end. But like this entire movie, they were like, nah, Chadwick Boseman, that was our fucking guy. Like he was incredible.
It played as a character.
it played as a character in the movie, his passing, which is a weird thing to say, but it is true. It played as a
Yeah.
theme in the
Yeah.
movie.
You could feel it
Definitely.
like every scene, you know.
And being able to go from a point where you have a script that's about whatever the hell the movie was about, which is probably not grief, right? This movie was about something else, and every scene written in the movie was giving service to a certain theme of whatever that theme was. And they were able to really change the theme on the fly and enrich that new theme into literally every scene of a movie where some of those scenes were written before he passed. Like it's a truly impressive work of art to be able to work that thing in, because I felt like T'Challa was in every scene. I felt like the weight of his passing was present in every scene, even the funny stuff with Riri. Like it's just there. And to be able to pull that off is a superhuman feat to be able to do that in the writer's room. I was really impressed by how they were able to do that.
I will say, you know, you got to have jokes in a Marvel movie, but I will say sometimes though, with not all the jokes to me landed. I mean, as is comedy, but like it did feel because of that when we would go to those very haha scenes. I was like, ooh, we just shifted tones completely. Like there's a couple of times where I was like, okay, which movie are we doing here? And that's just to be expected when you have something as serious as what happened. But yeah, there was a couple of times, and that's kind of where I took points off as well, where I was like, all right, this is a mega shift in what we're doing here. And now the leader of the Dormilaje is talking about like Fenty Beauty and stuff like that, and we're just like
I thought that
okay.
was hilarious.
It was funny
both times.
Like, it was funny,
I didn't
but I'm
mind
just
at
saying
all.
the shift is like whiplash a couple of times to me.
I really think that what they gave Winston Duke to do is so cool, because he already had such an iconic character from the first movie that people really resonated with.
Oh, we haven't even talked about Winston Duke, yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's in Baku, but he also is like Sage Council as well, and he can give you both of those things. Like he's just not comic relief anymore, and he's not obviously the foil to Chadwick that he was for 10 minutes. A very compelling 10 minutes of the first movie, by the way, is M'Baku just being the bad guy for that scene. And then all of a sudden you realize that he had a different role. He's going to be the comic relief. He was going to be a strong warrior. In this movie, he's also kind of the advisor of Letitia in a certain way. And I thought he did that stuff well. His comedy stuff was hilarious. And when he tells them, he goes from the fish guy, let's just kill the fish guy. Who cares? I'll kill this fish man.
I say we killed the fish man.
Yeah, which is hilarious. And when he talks about it again, he's saying they call this man Kukulkan or whatever he was saying. He is not a president. He is not a king. He is a god to them. You have to think about our strategy different. This is not just some normal dude. This is not the Barack Obama of the Atlantic. This dude is a god. And y'all can't just, if we kill him, what are we going to do after that? They're going to attack
Obama
us.
of the Atlantic.
Yeah, like this dude is like y'all don't understand. This is like this guy. If we were able to kill him, I don't know how we would do that yet, but if we were able to kill this man, the people below are not going to stop until we are all gone, and they have more people down there than we have blades of grass. We are fucked. Like y'all have to reconsider this. Like we are fucked if y'all kill this man. And that's just, he was the smartest person in that room. And so to give him more of an expanded role, I just thought he crushed it. And I think he's just a really talented actor. And I thought he did a great job.
It feels like Ryan Coogler in real time pivoting and being like, wait, this guy's actually a star now.
Yes. Okay. That could be it. Like I have to expand his role because this actor is becoming a sort of a thing.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he was on the brink of stardom, and maybe the role in Black Panther helped him, but like Winston Duke's like an actual like almost movie star now, if not a marketable actor at the very least. I mean, he's not Daniel Kaluuya, who is not noticeably absent from this film, but it was interesting because they mention him in this movie in passing.
Oh yeah, they did.
He's not Daniel Kaluuya level of stardom, but it does feel like a pivot by Ryan Coogler to be like, yeah, your role's way bigger. You know what I mean?
I mean, everybody's role had to be bigger. That's just how it goes.
There
was a lot more shots to get up. So
yeah, everybody's role was bigger. Like we got way more Okoye, we got way more Nakia. Like everybody like had a bigger role, and Winston Duke thrives in it.
Yeah, and he's great. I love seeing. I loved him in Us. I love seeing him in things. It is interesting that everyone since Black Panther, basically in that movie, has gone on to like be a bigger star.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's super weird. It's super weird in that way, but everybody really did grow up. But I agree with something you said earlier, which is we might be in an Angela Bassett moment right now. I don't know what she's got coming down the pipeline, but I think people are really, really, really going to give her a lot of flowers around this time. I've heard some talk that maybe people think she might be nominated for an Oscar. I don't know if I am willing to say that yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened, but I don't know if I would bet on it yet. But I feel like she's really about to get her moment. And Angela Bassett played Tina fucking Turner and made a Black classic. Black people love that film, even though it's one of the hardest films to watch ever. She's incredible. Yes, one of the greatest films ever. Not an easy film to watch.
Nominated for an Oscar for that too. It's her only Oscar nomination.
Yep, she went crazy. She went absolutely. So her chops have always been there, but it's always cool when actors or actresses later in their lives do something dope, and all of a sudden people be like, let's give them their love. We got a similar moment with the Green Goblin performance and being like, hey, this guy is actually incredible. And the stuff that he's doing, even in his old age, we should have a moment for his career. And it helped him that he had other movies coming out. He was in a movie with Bradley Cooper right after that. So like, it was good to have that moment.
Just had this happen. Like,
that's true.
Yeah.
She is now 64 years old. She's been nominated for one Oscar.
How does she look like that at 64 years old?
Fantastic looking, man. Oh my God. But it's crazy because she's been steady working. Like she's been on like 100 episodes of that shitty 911 show or whatever on Fox. And she's just been steady working.
Getting checks.
Yeah, getting checks. I mean, but she's like been present in the Marvel universe, but it does feel like this is a moment where if it's not nominated for like any below the line awards or anything, that it's gonna be such a big movie. Yeah, like costume or something like. But like, if it's not nominated, nominated for those things, that I think if you had to pick a superhero movie that was going to be nominated for anything this year, it's this. Obviously.
Wait, it was yes, I would agree with that. Do y'all think? Because I think that this presents like we're unfortunately because IP is so popular right now, we're going to have characters from IP, those actors and actresses tragically died. Like it's going to happen again. And so I thought they set the bar at such a level of how you deal with that. This is truly something we've never seen before, not just in a comic book movie, but in any movie, because if all movies are disjointed and they don't relate to each other, you're never going to have a movie where we're doing the Brad Pitt funeral scene at the same time we're doing the character of the Brad Pitt, because Brad Pitt, he plays a different person in every movie. So it's just a super weird thing that we were able to see. And I think the bar is set really high for if unfortunately we have to deal with that again. You can do both. You could literally memorialize the person and the character, and you can handle it tactfully and gracefully, and you can still make your movie.
Unfortunately, what's going to happen is that like one of these people are going to die in real time, and this is what I wanted to talk about. Getting into spoilers territory. So if you're spoilers territory, 48 minutes in. If you haven't seen Black Panther, you're like the only one in America. So go see it. It's really worth your time. I promise you'll have a good time in the theater. This is what I wanted to get into. So unfortunately, what's going to happen? It's going to happen again. By the time we're old men, or unfortunately, probably, but soon, it just will happen. The nature of the business is that one of these main characters will die. And what they did here is they chose not to recast. Instead, they chose to redistribute, which is something that they've done in the comics. It's not like they took a huge leap in the comic lore in making Letitia Wright Shuri the new Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther is a mantle. That's like an easy place to make.
Yeah,
like,
so
they could do the same thing with a Batman, or
and quite literally most of these superheroes are a mantle outside of Doctor Strange. But then you even get into multiverses and things like that, and anyone can come in now and be these characters. Like Spider-Man's not necessarily a mantle, but it has been through several iterations of who Spider-Man is from different universes or people that have gotten bitten by spiders, and there's been multiple Spider-Man at times, so.
Spider-Gwen, shout out.
Right. So what they chose to do here is to move on from Chadwick Boseman's character. I think it was the right decision. I will go on a limb and say that, and I think that's the majority decision. I think that's the majority opinion on this podcast.
Honestly, I think that was the only option.
The only option.
Me too. But someone's going to go the other way at some point.
I was going to say, what is the move if I did pick a character? What is the move if Spider-Man dies? You know what I mean? You have to recast Spider, right? Like, what is
they're going to recast Spider-Man?
Yeah, like what is the move? And I don't know how we're going to react in real time. This just happened to work.
Well, and remember, guys, the way this movie ends, I'm glad we're in spoiler territory. There is a new T'Challa. They did recast T'Challa. We are just going to see that kid aged up at some point.
Yeah,
because I don't think the plan is to have Letitia stay as the Black Panther. I think there's going to be some point we get that kid is going to become whoever the new Black Panther is, but you give it a little bit of time, you let it cool off. Black Panther doesn't necessarily have to appear in anything for the next, couple years.
10 years. Like,
and so, you could be at some point when you feel like it's time, either you want to make a Black Panther 3 or you want to bring Black Panther back in one of the other films, then you could recast at that time. And now enough time has passed where people won't be upset with you. And I think that's where we're going. I think that's where we'll end up.
You think they threw that in there because they were like, Letitia, you're being acting reckless for a long time. So
I hope you would hope it doesn't. But like I remember during that time, I was like, whoa, she's about to fumble the bag. Like, what's going on over there? Get it together, Kyrie. But wasn't. I got scared for a minute. Hopefully it's not because of something like that.
No, I think you're absolutely right as why they did that. But
I don't think that's it at all. Honestly, I feel like they just wanted to like kind of give, a nod, like, the legacy continues, like, kind of thing. And, they don't want to have to explain, like, Letitia Wright probably not gonna have a son in like the Black Panther universe. Like, not to like judge anybody like off of looks, but I don't think she would end up having an heir like in this continuity. So the throne will continue past her. I think that's why they did
I really do kind of tend to agree with Tej though, that they were just like in 5 years, who is the next up and coming Black actor?
Yes, we could just cast them later.
Like, who can we throw in here?
The kid will be 11, but like
and remember,
they don't give a fuck. They don't care.
They're gonna find a way to age him up. They'll send him over to the multiverse somewhere, and he'll all of a sudden come back and he'll be aged up. Like you can age him up pretty quickly, but they don't
just
have
jump
to
ahead. They'll be like, no, it's 2045. Who gives a shit?
I feel like that's a real reach. Like if they're gonna do another Black Panther movie anytime soon, they'll just have Letitia Wright be in it again.
These movies made $1 billion. They're gonna recast T'Challa 5, 6, 7 times if they can keep making that kind of money. That they are absolutely setting up a recast. I promise you that.
Nah,
I promise you.
They're not going to use this kid as like fucking the new. No, that's not happening.
No, I don't think it's going to be that kid as that actor. Don't get me wrong.
I'm saying
that.
Like
that's the entryway to cast whoever the up and coming new Black hotness is in 5 years, and then you have a new Black Panther. Nah. I don't think the goal is. I don't think they're betting on Letitia Wright to be Black Panther going forward. I would be very surprised if that's what they're doing.
No, they're not betting on fucking Toussaint. Like that's not happening. Guys, come on. Like let's be real. They're not doing that. That's not happening.
I can't believe you don't see it again. I can't believe you don't see it.
Jaden Smith is going to step in that role.
Yes,
when he's
exactly.
32.
Yes, like
nah.
I cannot wait to clip this off because it definitely.
They already have Letitia Wright. They have Lupita Nyong'o. Like. Also incredible, and they just gave us Riri Williams. Like they're not
40.
So How long do you think they're going to be like doing this? How long?
Forever in perpetuity. What are we
Bro,
talking
they're
about?
making $1 billion per Black Panther movie. They're gonna keep shoving that shit out there until the concept is no longer proven to be true.
Lupita Nyong'o is not gonna age out of this. Like by the time they're done with Black Panther movies.
No, she'll be there, but I don't know if they're. I think the way, and I think this is a good space to open up this part of the conversation, which I want to handle sensitively. I think you saw the limitations of Letitia Wright's character, and I understand, or Letitia Wright as an actress, and I understand that she had a Herculean task that is damn near impossible to be able to step into the Chadwick Boseman-sized shoes that were left there for her largely. Obviously, it's a team effort, but largely she is supposed to fill that gap, and I think you saw her limitations as an actress at times, and so she's young, obviously, so who knows if she can develop into somebody like that, in which, of course, Dex will look like a genius because she becomes a huge star, and, of course, they want her to put her there. But I still think with a role that big, with movies this big, what they want is a movie star there. That's what the opening is for. You'd rather have a movie star there. If this thing is supposed to drive and make the most money ever, we want to leave the spot open just in case we can draft Paulo Banchero soon. We need the Paulo Banchero to get the team to keep winning. So that's what I think. But Letitia Wright could become that massive star. I don't think I would bet on it.
Well, I tend to disagree because these have been since making people into movie stars, into the modern form of what a movie star is.
That's
like Chris Hemsworth, for all of his faults, is a movie star. Like, and
true, but not everybody in the MCU, even that plays a character, we wouldn't call all of them movie stars.
I don't think,
and I don't think they all have to be movie stars. They don't all have to be movie stars. But if the $1 billion thing is what you're chasing, you're not going to find very many $1 billion movies that you would say there's not a movie star at the center of it. That's even true within the MCU, and they know that. And so, obviously, this movie is going to, quote, like by numbers or by definition, prove that wrong. And if they think that can continue, then you're right. By definition, Letitia Wright is a movie star, but I don't think I would consider her a movie star at this time in her career.
But I mean, like, even Chadwick Boseman wasn't doing $1 billion movies before Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true.
He became a star after, like, we all knew, well, not all of us, but like we knew who he was because he was playing iconic characters and like doing biopics.
My man was playing
like
every iconic black character that he could.
But yeah, he wasn't like, he wasn't out here making $1 billion movies.
He was not making $1 billion movies before he linked up with the MCU. That's true.
Yeah. So I think, honestly, at this point, it's the MCU. Like, whoever they put in whatever role, like, the movie is going to make its money if people like the movie. Like, Eternals didn't make a ton of money because nobody liked that movie. But, they can put, like, I don't know, what's the girl's name from Miss Marvel? Like, they can put her at the center or something, and people are going to watch it if they like it. Like, it doesn't.
I thought white people were trying to make her a movie star for a while. I guess the momentum slowed on that, but I thought y'all were about to send her into outer space. No pun intended. I thought Brie Larson was having that moment, and she was about to be in everything, and it hasn't really played out like that.
She's not a movie. She's not technically a movie star, but she is a great actress. I think we've all forgotten that because of the discourse around who Brie Larson and that character is. But no, I go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, you can put, it's the MCU, you can put whoever you want in there, like, to be honest, and they're gonna make their money back because it's the new MCU movie. Like, we're gonna go watch it.
It is criminal that we live in a world where a lot more people went to go see that piece of crap Chloe Zhao MCU movie than they went to see Tar. That hurts my feelings because one of those movies is incredible and one of them is an absolute snooze fest, and that is just saddening.
When you put it like that, ooh boy,
there's real cinema out here, y'all. Shit. That's all we're saying. There's real cinema out here, bros.
Chloe Zhao's gonna have more Oscars than Tar. Book it.
Bro, you are hurting my feelings because you're. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
I don't know.
I think Chloe Zhao has 2 Oscars because she won Best Director and Best Picture.
Tar's gonna win 2 Oscars.
Tar's gonna win. Yeah, Tar's gonna win.
Are we sure? Are we sure?
1,000%.
I am so sure, bro. I am so sure.
I have never been more sure about anything.
It's guaranteed to get Best Actress. We know. We literally have one in the pocket already. We already have one in the pocket. That's a layup, bro. That is
we
a
were
layup.
1000% certain that Power of the Dog, that shit movie, was going to win 18 Oscars.
See, but Power of the Dog is bad. That's like the distinction.
That's a big change.
Oh man. Anyway,
Power of the Dog is not good, and Tar is really, really fucking good. So big difference there.
Any other conversations we want to have surrounding Black Panther?
To talk about, since we're in spoiler territory, Michael B. Jordan coming down from the rafters.
He's back.
Holy shit!
Good for
I
him.
was not ready. I was totally unprepared for that shit.
Did you not predict? Did you not think, like, going into the movie? Did you think that was a possibility? Because I had always thinking he's gonna pop up at some point. I was very shocked when it happened, but I was in the back of my brain. I was like, I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I figured this is a cool.
Was not thinking about him.
He's just gonna pull up. Wow.
Was not thinking about him at all in any way. Like, I didn't rule it out as a possibility. I didn't assume it was a possibility. I just didn't even think about it. And then he showed up on the screen, and I was like, "Yo!"
It was an interesting write-in to write him in.
I really
it made sense. It really made sense. Like, because the whole time Shuri is like, her faith is being tested. Like, she doesn't really believe in like all that ancestor, like, spiritual magic, faith, religion shit. Yeah, she's all in on the science the whole time. And then, he pops up in the ancestral plane. It's like, you didn't even believe this was real, did you? It's like, oh, like Killmonger getting off bars from beyond the grave. Look at you.
I thought that was such a smart setup to set it up. Obviously, I watched Black Panther 1 right before I went to the movie theater the day before. You get 3 ancestral plane visits in the first Black Panther movie. And all 3 of them, the character has questions and they have doubts. And they go there and they have a conversation with someone who's important in their life, and they come away feeling less doubtful. They feel they have a path forward. They're more resolute in their mission now, right? Shuri, at the time where she's about to go in, doesn't really want to be Black Panther, but she realizes that in order to kill my ops and get my get back, I have to become the Black Panther. She's fueled by revenge. I'm not really necessarily thinking about what's best for Wakanda. I just need to get it back in blood because I'm tired of all the losses I'm experiencing in a short amount of time. She goes in there. It is him. She does not see her father. She does not see her brother, which obviously we knew why we didn't see her brother in the movie.
Thank God. Again, we could have had a Grandma Calkins thing.
She obviously wants to see her brother or mother or her father even, who died in the first movie. She's experienced a whole lot of loss. She wants to see somebody close to her, and instead she sees Killmonger, and she leaves this place, this ancestral plane, with these powers, but she's angry. She doesn't feel she doesn't feel like she has her answer. She's saying, why didn't I see the people I want to see? She's completely lost. And so putting her in that mental space justifies whatever she was about to do, which was really going to be destroy Wakanda if she kept the war going and didn't try to alleviate the conflict. They were all Wakanda was going to be done. Like, it was over. Like,
Wakanda was about to get cooked. Like, Wakanda, if it really came down to it.
That invasion of Wakanda, that showed you right there. Oh, they are fucked if this really goes down. That was only a little piece. He gave them a little piece of an invasion and said, "I'll be back next week." Like, he could have destroyed Wakanda.
I'll be back for the rest next week.
Yeah, like I'm not
I just killed your queen. Like, I'm back for the rest.
He's telling you what play he's running. He's like, "You're the fucking queen now. I'll let you know what play I'm running. I'm going to come back and run the same exact play, and you're still not going to be able to stop it. So get your shit together in a week. I'll give you a week to go into practice and practice against this flea flicker all week. And you're going to come back on the field, and I'm running it again, and I'm scoring again." Like, Wakanda was fucked, and she was so fueled by her own want for get back and revenge that she was literally going to lead her country into ruins. And so in order to get her to do something that is that crazy and that ill thought out, you have to put her in a space where I just saw fucking Killmonger as my person who was supposed to give me this guidance. My brother told me he saw my dad down there, and my dad let him know that he was ready to be king. And that's how he started his job. I started my job as the Black Panther by my ops telling me that I deserve to be mad and I should just kill the whole world. Like, that was my counsel. So I just thought it was a really good way to set up what she had to go do.
And Michael B. Jordan, like, he
It's his
He's
best
not
role.
like the greatest actor.
It's his best role.
Yeah, he fucking killed it again.
I love Creed
whatever
as
it
a
is that
movie.
Ryan Coogler be saying to him, like on set, it be working every single time. Like, Ryan Coogler get the best shit out of Michael B. Jordan that we have ever seen.
Yeah. Is this his third time with it? No, fourth time with him.
No, fifth. They made 2 Creed movies. They made
Coogler didn't direct that second Creed movie.
No, he directed the second one. He's not directing the third one.
He didn't direct the second one. I promise.
Oh, okay. So they did 1 Creed movie, 1 Black Panther movie, the San Francisco Bay movie,
Fruitvale Station. Yeah.
Okay, maybe just 4. I thought I guess I forgot he did.
No, someone who had directed a bunch of like music videos or something did the second Creed movie, but Coogler produced it.
Is the same guy who did Creed 2 doing Creed 3, or did they get somebody?
No, Michael B. Jordan is doing Creed 3.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
A movie which I am also excited for.
Yeah.
Because of
the 2 largest men we've ever seen on screen. Holy shit, Jonathan
Bumping
Majors
me
is huge in that
because of a future MCU villain. Jonathan Majors looks insane.
Guys, I saw 3 Jonathan Majors trailers before my showtime. There were 3.
It's his time, man.
Yeah.
3 trailers before the biggest movie of the year. It's his time.
You listen to the best actors under 35. Did you listen to that podcast?
No, I didn't hear it yet. I haven't.
So they ranked him like 7th or something like that, only because it is so close to happening and hasn't happened quite yet for Jonathan Majors.
It's about to happen.
He's like been in Stars and stuff, but it's just like he's about to be in an MCU movie. He's about to be the lead of a war movie. He's about to be the lead of a boxing movie. Like, Jesus, like.
Yeah, I mean, R.I.P. Lovecraft Country, but like we're on to better things now. We're like,
he went so crazy.
Love you, miss you.
He went so crazy in Loki. He did such in one episode that I was like, oh, this kid's about to be. He is really him. All he did was talk for an hour in an episode of a TV show, and I was like, oh, he's about to go crazy, bro. It's over for everybody. He's about to kill everyone. Everyone's gonna die in the MCU.
I don't have anything else to say about Wakanda Forever.
We got to talk about the introduction of Namor. That scene, one of like the best MCU scenes we've seen in a long time, in my opinion. Like when they're out on the rig, and like the what are they called? The people from
Talokan.
Yeah, they pull up and kill everybody on this fucking boat that's out here mining for vibranium. Like that shit turned into a horror movie real quick. I was
Facts.
I was enthralled. That shit was incredible. Like they pull up singing siren songs, and these motherfuckers like jumping off this damn boat to their death. They're snatching people up out the ocean. Like they just show you the cable is like broken now. The guy is gone. You have no idea what the fuck just happened to him. Like down there, the chick is screaming like underneath the ocean, and then they like these 2 random people fly off in a helicopter, and Namor snatches them bitches out the air. Like that shit was fucking incredible. Like,
water is scary, man. That's my whole thing. The ocean is scary.
Facts.
Yeah, that's why I don't be in that shit. No, thank you.
Disney obsessed with water because that Avatar movie, I guess, is coming out eventually.
Guys,
yeah, next month.
Can we all promise each other that we're not going to cover that movie on this podcast?
Brother, we are going to be in there day 1 covering that
shit.
No,
bro. Please don't do this to me.
Look, I have to write. I have to write the review. I have to write the review. People are going to be looking for it, so I have to write it. It has to get done. We have to do it on this podcast.
One of the funnier episodes we ever done on this podcast was our rewatch of the original Avatar.
The okayest movie of all time.
Wait. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that shit stinks.
It's awful, bro. And we can all, as a people, just commit to not watching this midfest.
We
just
cannot
because
do that.
people think it looks cool. We can all, as a people, literally promise each other.
And I will be on here, so
that.
we hope to see you on here.
Why? These movies are so bad. I hate that movie so much. I'm resentful towards it. I hate it so much.
I have to. I have to go see it.
The Way of Water. Does anybody know what that movie's about other than water?
colonial.
Those are the most. Well, yeah, it's always about colonialism, but like every movie is about colonialism. If we just take it down to a microscopic level.
Yeah, it's about family and colonialism. That's all I can tell you.
Anything else?
I'm ready for a drama. I'm ready for negativity. Let's do this.
Wakanda Forever. Dex is doing the thing. Way to bring back the thing. The cast is doing the thing.
How can you not?
Yeah,
we gotta throw up the little Wakanda X. We gotta hit the shoulders. You know.
Also, I haven't been doing no Wakanda X's. I'm not doing that again. I'm not.
I've been doing it.
No, I've not been doing it.
Also, Lupita Nyong'o and Tino Huerta were dancing on stage in Mexico City, and it was the best thing that I've ever seen. Thank you.
Lupita Nyong'o, we love you on this podcast. We love you. I know that
it's great to see her. No, it's really great to see her back on back on the big screen. Like I know she'd been in a couple of things, but it was like her first like major thing since Us. So like,
which she was incredible in. Oh, I love you, Lupita. I love you.
But she's hadn't been in that many projects, and of course the pandemic like threw things off. But she was in the 355, and I say this to the first major role. She was in the 355. No one saw that.
No,
Dex saw it.
No,
I didn't even see it.
Dex did not see it. Nobody saw it.
So that was the last. She was in the 355.
Was that a January release? Like, yeah, they put
January release in 2022. Yeah,
farted that into the ether.
They really did. They really did. Like here, sure, okay. Coming up, we are going to do our top 10 movies redraft, and I think we'll probably do this one more time.
Let's argue.
In January, I'm sure, but let's do that here. I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be right back.
Bet. Teej, how do you want to do this? Do you want to start at 1 or you want to start at 10?
We start at 10.
Okay. We're getting ambulance the fuck out of here, bro. Like You
gotta stop this. You gotta stop this right now, bro.
There's no way.
Why do you have this hate in your heart for real cinema, bro? Why do you not appreciate real cinema?
Stinks, bro.
It's ridiculous, man. That's real cinema.
Thanks. I honestly don't even remember that much about it, other than Jake Gyllenhaal yelling a lot and there being like drone shots of buildings for no reason. Like
the reason was because we could and because we should. Oh my god!
Like, oh, y'all got a drone? Oh, y'all rented it for the day. All right, well, let's get some more shots.
All right, let's just do some more of those shots.
Yeah. If we got it, we might as well shoot it. Yeah, you just went up the side of a building. Do it again, then come up upside down.
I can't wait to watch that movie again. I fucking love it. But Michael Bay is a goddamn king.
Shout out to whatever that woman's name was in that movie. She
I
gorgeous.
forgot that woman's name, but super gorgeous.
Yeah, don't remember, but
all right, I got our old list. We should start from the top. It makes more sense to start from the top.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
Okay, tell me when you're recording, Royden.
We've still been recording.
Okay, all right. So
Did I lose?
You left and came back.
You left.
I dropped. Okay. Sorry.
No worries. So last time we did this, which was in June, our list was as follows. At 10, we had Massive Talent, the Nicolas Cage movie. At 9, we had Ambulance, which was real cinema. At 8, we had X, the horror movie. At 7, we had Fresh. At 6, we had Turning Red. And then our top 5 were Multiverse of Madness at 5. Wow. The Northman at 4. The Batman at 3. Top Gun Maverick at 2. And Everything Everywhere All at Once at 1. That's what we did in June. So now we got to come up with it again in November and then probably again at the end of the year. So our end of the year list will probably look a lot like our list does now, but there is some real cinema coming out in the next month. So we'll see.
Yeah.
There's about 5 movies coming out there. Like we definitely need to evaluate.
because we got to knock off a few of these movies here because there's been some movies released. So let's start at the top. We should start at it makes more sense to start at the top so we know what we're going to kick off.
Y'all aren't going to like my answer.
What the hell are you about to say? You're going
to everything everywhere all at once.
I don't hate that answer. That's what we were.
That's what we had the first time. Yeah.
I know, but like y'all are big tar heads on here.
Hey, listen, brothers. I don't want to, we love the movie Tar. I know tar heads might have a different connotation in some spaces, but yes, you are right. I am Tar Hive. I am Team Tar. That is my favorite movie of the year thus far. So I would supplant Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is crazy because I did not think I would see a better movie this year. Same. But Tar is a better movie, and I got to have it number one.
Yeah, Royden, you're outvoted. We're going Tar number one. I don't hate your answer.
I don't hate your answer. Your answer is still my number two, so like I don't hate it.
Yeah,
I still have to buy Everything Everywhere All at Once on DVD. Like that's how much I don't know if I'm gonna buy Tar on DVD.
I don't know if I'm just gonna Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I'm gonna buy Tar as well.
Tar is coming home with me, brother. I can tell you that right now, brother.
As soon as that Amazon leak is live,
you bringing in dates being like, we gotta watch Lydia Tar do work.
No, if I'm on a date and I put on Tar and the woman is into the movie, then she is the one. Like she is. That is a great time. That is taste, brothers. That is taste right there. That is cinema.
So yeah, Tar is number one. We're going Everything Everywhere All at Once at number two.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Number three, are we sticking with Top Gun Maverick?
Top Gun Maverick. I like that is like 1C for me, to be completely honest.
Dude, that movie fucking rules. That's number one easily.
It's fucking awesome.
Like almost every other year.
I can't believe we got that at number three, and I think that our rating is right, but that movie fucking bangs. It's
literally
perfect.
Any other year of the past like 5, maybe 10 years. That movie is easily number one for me.
And I give us credit because when that movie dropped and we did our review, we literally told y'all in that podcast, Real Cinema Hours are back. We have that at number 3 right now. You see that Cinema Hours have returned, brothers. We are back.
We told y'all Tom Cruise saved cinema, and then Michelle Yeoh saved it again, and then Cate Blanchett saved it again. We are so back.
It's the big movie boy agenda is going great on this podcast. I'll tell you that much. Number 4.
We had the Batman right after Top Gun Maverick last time. Yeah, I think we got to move that down.
Yeah, probably. Batman rules down though.
One spot. I want to say, upon the rewatch of both films, I think that we should have the Northman above the Batman, even though everybody saw the Batman and nobody saw the Northman. I think we should put the Northman above the Batman.
I'm with that.
I'm so down. We're pretty much in lockstep here, which is good. Like this means this bottom 6 is gonna.
It's about to get ugly. Okay, so that means we have the Northman now at number 4, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the Batman at number 5. Are we comfortable with the Batman staying at 5? I think so.
Are we?
For now. We'll get back to
y'all might have seen something that you're gonna put above the Batman, but I haven't.
We'll get back to it.
We all loved a movie on this podcast that we reviewed.
I haven't gone backwards on the movie. I'm just saying, have y'all seen anything that would supplant it?
Barbarian?
Yep, I was just about to say Barbarian would probably be above the Batman for me right now. That might be recency bias a little bit, but
the Batman was so good though.
I'm gonna be with Roy. I think the Batman is better than Barbarian. I gotta go with Roy on this one.
Barbarian for me, it was like something I've never seen before. Like I've never been on the edge of my seat like that and not knowing where the fuck a movie is going. The Batman, you know where it's going almost the entire time. There's a couple surprises in there, but like I would have Barbarian over the Batman, and honestly, I might have Barbarian over the Northman at this point. But
y'all like Barbarian more than me. I like Barbarian, but not that.
I fucking love Barbarian.
Yeah, you gave Barbarian like an A+, right?
Yeah, I think I ended up there. I think initially I gave it less.
That's just a sign that Dex needs to watch a lot more fucking horror movies, which I've been telling him. I've been telling him this. Yep. Horror movies are real.
You would be.
Brother.
I think you'd be like a horror movie guy. Like if you really gave it a chance. You'd be like the themes of Nosferatu, or like.
I will go see that when it comes out. The new Robert Eggers one.
Yeah, with Skarsgård.
Yeah, and not Harry Styles. Thank God.
I cannot fucking wait. Eggers, you real cinema hours. Please go see The Northwind, y'all. We know y'all haven't seen it. We know we are the only 3 people who have seen this film, but that shit bangs, and you will have a great time.
I also bought that one on DVD.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna end up with all 6 of the movies that we've named so far on DVD by the
I
time
might too.
this is all over.
I might, we our list, not to be snobby, but our list fucking slept so far. And that shit is fire.
I would go the Batman 5, Barbarian 6.
Yeah, that's what we have right now.
Okay, so
yeah, because
you know what? I'm fine with Barbarian being 6. I'm fine with that.
That's fine with me. And these are all movies that at this point a lot of people have actually seen, except for Tar, which is disappointing. But
nobody's seen The Northman either.
Oh, and by the way, we're going with nobody saw The Northman.
Yeah,
R.I.P. and Pete Eggers making a
blockbuster.
Never doing that again.
Yeah. What a funny story on that. It was just like, we want him to make a blockbuster, and there's
like, never mind.
And everybody was just like, nah.
Actually, no, thank you.
You'll just go back to
honestly, it was the same 7 people
fucking lost.
The Lighthouse
it's
in theaters.
They're fucking lost, guys. That's true. It was literally the same 7 people. Like, I'm gonna mosey into this movie again, and nobody else saw it.
I don't know. I remember having a pretty packed theater to go see that and thinking, and then it made like $30 million. And they're like,
I feel like my theater was also packed, and I was like, this movie's gonna do well. Then it was like, no, nobody saw it. And it was like, but I just saw a whole room of people that had the time of their fucking lives. It's not even just like they were just in there watching the movie. The whole movie theater was having a blast the whole time I was watching this film.
It's impossible not to, bro. Like, they're up there doing the fucking Wolf hype song and shit. You're like, like, I'm in it. I'm ready. Let's fight.
So at 7, by the way, we're only doing movies on here that 2 of us have seen. So if like only one of we had a couple of movies on the last one that only one of us had seen. So on this one, like a majority of the podcast has to have seen the movie.
I got one offer up at 7.
I was gonna say Nope.
Now you are fucking talking. Yes, Royden, I love you so much. I literally have that written down on my list right here. This is where Nope goes. Nope is real cinema, brothers. I'm so glad we are here.
All right, can I give my pick?
I need to put 7, on.
And
do I need to give Tej the hat to put on to like?
You might have to give me. You might have to let me get a and one on Dex right here, because I'm also going to suggest that Nope is better than Barbarian and should be higher than Barbarian on the list.
I don't know about that.
Hell no.
Nope is true cinema.
No, it isn't.
But do I need to give Tej the hat to wear to be like my brother, a black director, directed a blockbuster in the summer?
Look, all right. I respect that. I respect that move. But it
was the only movie to come out this summer, by the way. Nothing else came out. Y'all remember
else
that?
Needed to come out. He held the whole summer down. He saved cinema.
This summer sucked. Besides Maverick and Nope, summer was bad.
I respect the black representation of Nope, but we need a little Native American representation up in here. And Prey should be number 7.
Oh, no.
Prey is an incredible fucking movie. I would put that shit over Nope.
No, it's not a better movie than Nope.
It is
but
not a better movie than Nope.
But
I like that it's on the list. I agree. I totally agree. That shit is big fire.
I'm using a veto, Tej. If you'll handshake with me, we're using a veto. Nope is at 7.
Fine, but
okay, we can put Prey at 8 though, because Prey is real cinema, bro. That shit is fire.
All right, so we got 2 spots left, y'all. All right, so
The Woman King is 9.
Oh fuck, The Woman King probably has to go above at 8. I think The Woman King has to go at 8. And what did I just put at 8?
We put Prey at 8.
I think that The Woman King has to be above Prey.
It's a better movie than Prey.
It's a better movie than Nope, too, by the way.
No, it isn't.
No, it is not. It
absolutely is.
That is big. That's not facts.
Nope is not good.
Nope is dope, bro.
You know what's funny is that they are not pushing, like in any other year, like in the past 20 years, The Woman King would have been pushed for Oscars, and they just like really aren't trying.
Yep.
They started out a little bit like when the reviews first dropped and had like a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. Everyone was like, "Oh, maybe," and then we just haven't talked about it since.
I thought it was a layup Oscar movie, and it seems like it's literally fallen out of the conversation already. I thought it was a layup Oscar movie.
They really have not been pushing it.
It's because Best Actress is stacked this year. Like
that's true,
right? But they could have given Best Supporting Actress from one of this, but you know, then again, there's like that women talking movie that's coming out that's going to have like 18 actors. That's every actress in Hollywood is in that movie. So
hey, that shit looks like big fire. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and then we got who is it? Michelle Yeoh from The Fabelmans. Like we got a stacked like Best Actress year this year after a pretty lackluster one last year. Fucking Jessica Chastain won last year for a movie nobody saw, and the people who did see it didn't like it.
Very nasty. And I like that.
This year is completely different. But y'all are saying Woman King at 8 and Prey at 9?
Yes, I think that feels right, which means we only have one movie left.
Okay, so we have movies that we reviewed on this podcast. Thor: Love and Thunder.
No.
Let's see. Bullet Train.
Not top 10.
Nah.
Let's see. Don't Worry, Darling, guys.
Don't do that. Please skip to the next movie. Please stop.
What about Black Adam?
Please stop.
Black Adam is definitely a top 75 film of this year.
You know when they go down the rankings on the college football rankings and they just keep going? And you're like, stop. Why do you keep going? The Redeem Team.
That was dope.
But you know what I want to nominate?
No, that's different.
Yeah, it's not top 10.
You know what I want to nominate?
You know what I want to nominate, so go ahead and get your bars off.
Hustle.
Nah.
I want to nominate Hustle. Yes.
Hustle is good, but no.
Come on.
Not top 10.
Give Adam Sandler his flowers.
He got his flowers. He literally just gave us Uncut Gems. That was his flowers year.
You wax poetic for about a 15-minute training montage. You win as long as the training montage on this podcast.
It was a great film for what it was, but I wouldn't give it top 10 status. I've had a great time watching it.
I would. You want to put Ambulance? Let's do Ambulance.
It's not better than my choice, Ambulance, number 10 movie of the year. That shit is fire. It's amazing.
No, bro. Fucking no.
Ambulance. I listened
vetoed.
I re-listened. Okay, you got your veto. I have been re-listened to that episode recently.
Podcast. We are not fucking.
That's what's not to like. It gave us you everything.
It gave you drone shots and Jake Gyllenhaal, and that's
he saved cinema, and nobody saw it. Nobody watched it, but
unbelievable.
It was amazing.
A couple of movies that we had in the top 10 at the beginning of the year that are not on the list so far: Multiverse of Madness, Turning Red, Fresh, X, Ambulance, and Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. So
none of those movies belong on this list. Other
I would
than
put Turning Red on there. I really like Turning Red.
I really like Turning Red too. I also really like Multiverse of Madness. I know a lot of people are down on it, but me, I enjoyed the fuck out of that movie.
See, I'm more of a Love and Thunder truther. I'm becoming a Love and Thunder truther. I've realized that about myself. I wouldn't put it at number 10.
Phase 4 was just good.
I think Phase 4 was objectively good. And
that's I think I've landed on.
I'm down on both those movies, so y'all would have to hash that out. What about Jurassic World Dominion?
Stop, bro. What are you doing?
Another top 75 movie of the year. Did that come out in 2022 or was that?
It did.
We reviewed it on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
And properly shit on it on this podcast.
That feels so long ago.
Well, it kind of was. It was in July.
That shit stinks.
Okay.
So, it sounds like y'all.
We had Elvis as well, too, which I actually
kind of enjoyed.
That's why I will block. No, I will. You will not defame Michael Bay's name on this podcast in the manner of putting the Elvis movie here when his movie exists and is in the world. There's no way.
Okay, I can respect that. I can respect that. That's fine.
Dex, you have seen more movies than us. Banshees of Inisherin isn't going to make it on here for you.
No. Vengeance would make it on here for me if it was just Me thing.
Still haven't
but
seen
I don't
it.
think I'll have seen that. Yeah.
Wait, Vengeance?
That's the one with
Yeah.
the BJ Novak one.
Mhm.
Oh, right. That was what I meant to see it. And
Me too.
I
then,
think
and
it's
I
streaming somewhere now, but I don't
didn't.
remember where.
I'm gonna have to go watch that. I want to go see that.
Of course, y'all saw
I've heard
Massive
good things.
Talent, like one of the only comedies of the year.
I wouldn't have
Probably.
it on the 10 list this late in the year, but I did enjoy it.
Y'all
But
may
we gotta
have
find
to.
a movie that we agree on for the movie number 10.
Oh man!
As long as it's not Elvis, I can live with it.
Nah, it's not going to be Elvis. A movie that, going back on it, shocked me how much I actually enjoyed it because I hate Baz Luhrmann. I think he's the worst, and I went in that movie wanting to hate that movie, and I just was like, I can't hate it. I can't.
You spent 6 months telling me that movie was going to be fucking
It
awful.
was supposed to be. He was supposed to be butt. It was supposed to be cheeks.
It was actually cheeks. That's what I understand.
Like from
It
the
was
first
actually
trailer, Royden was like, "That movie's gonna stink. Like that movie's gonna be ass."
It looked like it was going to be booty cheeks, and it just wasn't. And I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to deal with it.
That shit was booty cheeks, bros. That shit was actually booty cheeks. Like, come on.
That shit looked like
I
ass and a
had a
half how
great
they
time.
marketed that movie. And I went in there and I sat there with my movie theater popcorn, and for 3 hours I was like, not bad. Like I was
That
just
shit
like,
is cheeks.
Women were passing out as Elvis was just vibrating from left to right, bro. Like incredible cinema.
Okay,
need
so
another
what do we
10.
decide?
What are we gonna do here?
I love Turning Red, man. I'm so serious.
I'm
Well,
with
Turning
that.
Red was on the original list. I'm fine with putting Turning Red there.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
And
Turning Red is
animation
number 10.
representation.
Facts. I'm fine putting Turning Red there. I
We
like that. I like
contain
that.
multitudes. We love Turning Red. Like,
I
What
like
else
that
is
list.
coming out from Disney this year? Is it Jake Gyllenhaal movie?
yeah, what's it called? Something
Strange Worlds.
Yeah.
Which, you know, the Lightyear flick came out and flopped, which is a disappointment. But
Wasn't bad.
y'all
Wasn't
both
great.
saw it.
Yeah, I saw it. Wasn't bad. Wasn't great.
I need to watch it just because, I mean, I love Toy Story, but like, yeah, that came out and Republicans had a fit that a gay character was on a screen. So
Yeah,
It
Republicans won that round.
yeah, they really did. It was kind of unprecedented.
Won that round.
Unprecedented knockout in the late rounds by Republicans.
Oh my
Hey, that's why they
God.
thought it was about to be a red wave. They were like, if we got Lightyear out of here, we can do anything.
We can do anything.
Then they fucking flopped in the midterms.
That's so stupid. Can you imagine somebody put like, Herschel Walker on this campaign trail? We got Lightyear out of here.
We can do anything.
We can do anything. It's our time, bros. We beat Disney.
I really like that Lightyear movie. Woody was great.
But
Wait, what?
yeah,
So
going through the list
read the
one more
list.
time.
Yeah.
we got Tar at number 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once at number 2, which is kind of a stunning upset because that like instantly became one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. But
Yes,
yeah,
I cannot believe that
absolutely.
I put a movie above it. I cannot believe that.
But I had to do it. Like, hey, Blanchett
no
did
choice.
that.
I
Let
had
the
no
record
choice.
show I did not.
I had no
Not.
choice.
Top Gun Maverick at number 3. Again, insane because it's one of the
Insane.
greatest action movies of all time, and it's number
I thought
3.
that was going to be number 1 when that shit dropped. I thought that was a guaranteed layup, number 1 movie.
The Northman at number 4. The Batman at number 5. Barbarian at 6. Nope at 7. Woman King at 8. Prey at 9. Turning Red at 10. That's a dope ass list, man.
I'm into that list. I'm proud of that list.
I like
I
that.
stand by
I'm
that.
ready to be hurt.
I'm ready
and
to-
put
I'm
more
ready to-
dramas on that list whenever we get to it.
If the Fablemans cracks this list, this is like the best year for movies that I can remember, honestly. Like,
So
I need
yeah,
it.
there's a couple more animated movies. Like, granted, we haven't seen everything, not even close. But these are all
there's
the
some stuff on here that
No,
like
Dexter's
we-
seen everything. So our list is representative of literally everything. Dexter's
we have
seen everything.
seen most of the seen and covered most of the major releases outside of some of the horror movies that had come out. Like we didn't see Smile.
and I will not be watching.
I will
Smile.
not. Nope.
No, thank you.
Smile is big fire. We have seen Smile because
You
I
have
have
seen
seen Smile,
Smile.
and it is incredible. But y'all won't watch it, and it's better than Barbarian. By the way,
I am a coward.
Because like the meme, I'm pussy. Like I'm not gonna. Yeah,
it is
I'm not gonna
incredible
go see that.
cinema, and y'all should watch it.
I will have to take your word for it, my
Which
friend.
is shocking. That movie looked like shit. And
It did look
It's
like
fire.
total shit.
That shit
And
is
then
Yeah.
people watching, and they were like, "Oh, this is actually good." And I
like
was like, "There's no way."
80% on Rotten
They
Tomatoes.
crushed it.
We're like,
They
what
crushed
the
it.
hell? And they're gonna
Another
make
movie
a
that I think there's no way
Smileverse.
possible that it's good. The Menu is apparently awesome.
No,
Like,
that
and
shit
I
looks
knew-
fire from the trailer.
I
That
knew
looks
that
fire.
shit was fire from the trailer.
that shit looks terrible.
Anya Taylor-Joy picking bad projects? Where?
Anya
Facts.
Taylor-Joy looked like
That's facts.
she was about to drop 25 in that movie. She was about to get for a quick 25. That trailer looks great.
I got my tickets for next week. I'm in there.
They got
early
Anya
access.
Taylor-Joy on her 1 week off, and they like, let's go film this movie. They got her in between filming Robert Eggers projects.
Facts.
I cannot believe she
that
was
might
in a
crack
Robert
this
Eggers
list.
film. That's just so crazy that she was.
Fablemans might crack this list if it lives up to the hype. Women talking, we'll see.
I still have to see the Banshees of Inisherin. I don't trust your review because, sorry.
I have to go back and like
Sorry,
look
don't
at
trust
other
it.
people's reviews because I'm sure I missed something. I must have because it
It's
felt
like a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. Or
it
something
felt
like
like it just like I got to the end and I was like, well, what's the point of that? Like, why did we do any of that? Like, there was
Thus is that guy's movies though.
Yeah, I was like, what was like? Did I miss some kind of subtext or something? Like, what the fuck? Like,
I haven't seen.
I have to read other people's reviews and figure out what was going on. But like, the performances were really good, and like, I was into the story, and it was just over, and I was like, oh, all right.
The big leave off here is the Redeem team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, also receiving votes. Shout out, but
Yeah, there you go. Also.
Oscar's gonna nominate that just to get the people to watch, like if LeBron at the Oscars.
R.I.P. to Ambulance. I'm sorry that we failed you.
We couldn't do it,
but it was.
Couldn't do it.
R.I.P. and
amazing
piss.
cinema.
Hey, we used our veto. I used my veto too early, Tej. I'm sorry.
Well, I used mine on Elvis, and I had to get that out of here, so I still feel good about it. I had to get that out.
I came into this pod, for those of you who don't know, I came into this pod literally like 2 hours ago being like, we're not doing Ambulance on this list. Like, it's not happening. We're getting that shit the fuck out of here. I let them put it on there last time over protest, but not a second time. No.
Dex was threatening to leave this podcast. He's like, I'll protest this podcast.
I will boycott this podcast.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
R.I.P. to Ambulance. It was a good time.
It was a good time to know you. Anyway, thank you to Dex and Tej. You can follow us at less_humble Tej, at Lord Dex Hinton, at Royden Ogletree. Go follow us at One Take Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and the like. YouTube is the big one. Please go like and subscribe on YouTube. You can see these episodes as they air. We really appreciate that. Then you will get the notification when we go live and talk about these movies way late at night, but we really appreciate it. Go download, rate, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Go leave us a review on Spotify. We really appreciate it. Just up that rating just a little bit. I know there's more of you that listen to us on Spotify than have given us ratings. I know you're out there. We know. We've seen the numbers. And
rate us, cowards.
Tej just dropped. So rate us 5 stars. We really appreciate it. Go find Tej at the Slander U podcast, as well as Underhook's podcast, both of those sports doing numbers this weekend. Dex, what have you written and where have you been?
Yeah, I just wrote the Wakanda Forever review earlier today, so go read that and followsu.com. I've been doing a lot of shit for Screen Rant. What did I just do? Oh, I wrote about Harry Styles and his MCU role. But I actually came down on his side. His movies are very bad, but like it's the MCU, so they don't care about how bad your other movies are. So he'll be back and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's the article I wrote on that one. Also wrote about John Wick and Ballerina, that spin-off movie that they're doing with Ana de Armas, which is gonna fucking own. Holy shit. Ana de Armas is her. Like Ana de Armas is she's the like action movie star actress right now. Like it's her and all the MCU women, but like that's it. So I'm hyped for that shit. But yeah, check me out, Lord Dixon. I tweet all my articles out over there. So, go find it.
All right. Thank you so much. You can find me doing the big one too, talking about Big 12 football also on 365 Sports on YouTube. Thank you so much for liking, downloading, and subscribing. Dex, what are we doing?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh, baby. It's gonna be the only good part of the Thunderbolts movie because Julie Louis-Dreyfus, not it.
That is what are we talking about?
In the MCU, not in general. To be clear,
Unbelievable.
Her MCU character stinks, bro.
Unbelievable way to end this podcast. We're out.